Okay, 1715. Good luck. That should be green. It just is. 5,900 games for my opponent. That's a lot of experience in rapid chess. Okay, do we get the 2 knights carrow? We don't. I think bishop up is okay here. All done. Here, drop back, and then e6 is the line. So I'm just going to go to f4. You want to basically stop white playing e6 in pretty much every line of the carrow. That's one of the big objectives that you're aiming for. So yeah, if you go there and you just move quickly, you then allow e6. So I'm going to develop my bishop and then the knight and just aim to castle. Okay, now I've got a choice to make. I'm going to drop back and see if he goes really bold. But I think I'm going kingside. Just bring the knight into play. c5 at some point. Oh, no, we might actually want to go g4. So do I spend a move with h6? Because he might just do this anywhere. I'm going to castle first. If knight across, I can just drop back. Okay, he's just gone there. Bring the other knight up. Now I am preparing to play a move like c5. Okay, it makes sense to me now. So now I'm going to throw it in. Again, trades, he might have knight across, but... Oh, actually, yeah. I might have made a mistake there because I can't actually take. So I have to trade my bishop first. Now I can take back, otherwise I was walking into a fork there. I'd rather have this one. So is it worth knight up here first? Here. Up. If I take back c5 immediately, I'm going to do it though. Here, I can maybe play knight and hit the bishop. A rook across. We've got pawn up should his rook come across. Okay. I'm looking at knight across now to pressure the pawn, but it's quite easy to defend. I do have knight over to hit the bishop and the pawn though. That seems good. That seems logical to me. Just gently pressure the pawn, but threatening to trade the knight for the bishop. So he has come in to hit my bishop now. So I'm going to drop back. Again, knight across challenges the knight now, but he'll want to bring the pawn across. So does he go all in with a move like f4 at some point? Might do. Let's just see. A rook across to pressure the pawn. He might take the knight, but I think I'm happy if he does. Opposite coloured bishops then though. But we'll allow it. Excuse me. Oh, knight's come forward, so actually that might be a bit of a nuisance here, but can I just grab a pawn? No. Here, knight in, I just take, right? So let's hit the knight. He might take the knight first, but I can take back or I can take here. So he has given up the bishop there. So take, knight in. I'm going to take the knight. It was going to break my structure up, however I did it there. So just take the knight. No, I'm tempted to go with a pawn here rather than my knight, but the knight does put some pressure on. But I think f4 is going to come anyhow. So I'm going to take with a pawn. Reinforce f5. Now what's wrong with just simply pushing a pawn up here? I don't see what's wrong with that. Create space for the knight and the queen. Oh, he's taken. That allows a check. If he blocks, I can actually grab a pawn, I think. So he steps out the way. So I've got rook across. I can pressure this pawn. I can drop back. Knight up seems strong, threatening a check. I like the move knight forward here, I think. I don't see any reason not to. And it might have been vulnerable to a pin there. But we have a potential check. Just a nuisance move, but... Bishop up takes. If he goes with the wrong rook, we might get a check and a cross or something. Let's just see. So he's come forward. Okay. So I think just a simple queen back makes sense here. I don't think queen up does much. Maybe I want to be on a light square though. Let's stay on a light square because he's got the dark squared bishop, and maybe rook across. I've got weaknesses here now, but to be fair, so's my opponent. I'm not sure what king up does. Okay, let's just pin that bishop. He's playing this very, very quickly. The engine probably says white is comfortably better here because of the pawns, but we'll see how it pans out. Now, if I go here, I hit the pinned bishop. If I go here, he can't play rook there, but he can go back here. So I think queen down makes sense here. I think he's going to have to go back, because he can't play that rook up. He can't move the queen. He can't move the bishop. Okay. So I think a move like rook up, it doesn't work in this right now with a view to coming across. Or I could go on the light square first, but it's a little bit risky either way. Pawn up to sack a pawn, not sure. I'm actually looking at rook right up the board as well. I don't quite see what that does. Here feels a bit loose. I'm going to do this one because I can drop the queen back here if I need to still guard the rook. Otherwise I might double up and try and really put pressure on. So he's shifted out the way. Knight across, he might have blundered a fork there now. We hit queen and rook and he can't take without losing the queen, so I think he's blundered. Is there any reason not to play this? I don't see it. So I'm going to play it and hit the 2. It might just be losing on the spot that. If I take the rook and then hitting the bishop as well, it might be just one simple mistake, might have cost the game. If he takes the knight, I take the queen. If he moves the queen, I take the rook. If you take back, I then take the bishop. It could just be one simple mistake. Yeah, he's gone back, but I think that just wins the game now. Just collect. We just a clean rook up. Very unlucky, isn't he? Very unlucky. Okay, we get a good win.